Hey, Sarah.
Hello there.
Did you have a good time celebrating the New Year?
I did. I made a New Year's Wedgeolution to build a beetle with an active weapon.
What a revolutionary idea.
I know, right? I'm building a spinner, or as I like to call them, wedge trimmers.
I'm too furious at you for these puns, Sarah.
Well, that's Tuberg. Anyway, I'd better get on with introducing our guest. Oh, what's this?
Red alert.
Uh-oh. This is not a daffodil. This is not a drill. Someone get Tim Rackers in here. We've been invaded by Charlie Dangerfield.
What up, pimps? I'm here to hack into your podcast.
Oh no. Dale, what are we going to do? We were supposed to have the other guy.
Yes, and I don't know who that is.
I think it was that American one. Not the spin one, the other American one. The wedge one.
Oh, him, yeah. It's a shame, I prefer him.
I know, he's really handsome, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well,
no.
Totally inferior to your current guest, so if I were you, I'd stop, because you are cruising for a bruising right now.
Oh, my goodness me.
There's no Tim here to protect you now.
Do you know, there isn't. I've just messaged him to say, Tim, Charlie's invaded my podcast and I need some help. Sadly, he's busy, but he did send me this message for you, Charlie.
Hi, is this the really crap Prince impersonator hotline? Oh wait, no, it's just you, Charlie. You stupid perm.
Did he call me a stupid perv?
He said he was looking for the Prince impersonator hotline and then realised it was just you with your stupid perm.
Okay. Well, to be honest, when I came onto this podcast, I expected a lot of love for me, like I get everywhere else I go in my life, but that kind of hurt me. What if I want to be Prince? What's wrong with being Prince?
I mean, you've invaded my podcast, so I'm just gonna smile and agree and we should probably start talking about the fights. Do you feel calm, Charlie? Do you feel calm enough and up to talking about the fights?
I feel tranquilo, baby, very chill.
Oh, good. Well, now that things have calmed down, do you think we could downgrade to yellow alert?
We could, but it does mean changing the bulb. Okay, let's get on with the fight. It's Bugglebots Heat 4, and first up we have the mighty Daedalus versus Claws 2. Last season, Cosmin was the wee half of the wee woo team, but is back for season 2 with his horizontal spinner, Daedalus. And he's up against last season's best newcomer, Fliss Sowery, with Claws 2. The battle started off with some excellent evasive driving from Fliss, but then it just took that one hit. And now everyone knows why Daedalus is the most feared spinner in the competition. Claws 2 was a dead lass. Dale, did you enjoy watching Claws go splat?
Yeah, what else do you say apart from that hit? Just unbelievable. But I thought the Berg won that quite well.
I did too. There was no way it was going to claws back after that.
Oh, wow.
I'm not sure whether I can handle these puns.
Well, in that case, Charlie, you better tell us what you thought of the fight then.
It'd been better if they gave me the win televised, but of course, with the CGI they used in this fight, I did definitely think Daedalus look out for. I was hoping that I wouldn't actually win the next battle because I could potentially face Daedalus and there'd be no Berg left. But Daedalus is terrifying no matter who's against it. Fliss did well driving, did her best, but unfortunately there's only so long you can last before Daedalus either destroys itself or destroys you, and it went in Daedalus's favour this time.
It did. I think Fliss was probably thinking just survive long enough to get him in the pit, but unfortunately it didn't quite get that far, and it was all over for Claws 2. Oh dear. Well, we'll move on. We'll go to hello there, versus Thunderchild. The Spinner-proof podcast guys built their first Beetle and came to get a bit of the action for themselves. They were probably glad not to be drawn against either of this heat's spinners for the first fight. On the other hand, they are up against one of the competition's toughest wedges in Thunderchild, driven by America's finest Nate Franklin, who is basically Thunderchild's active weapon. I didn't see this fight going any other way, but I was very impressed with Hello There for getting several good little hits in on Thunderchild. It didn't get completely bullied, did it, Dale?
Yeah, I can't believe Thunderchild survived all those X hits. Tough robot. But yeah, well done to the Berg for winning that one.
Yeah, I mean, congratulations, Charlie. Well done for another amazing win.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It comes naturally at this point.
So, the CGI representation of this fight, which didn't show the Berg winning, wherein it showed Thunderchild winning against Hello There. What did you think of the CGI edition of this fight?
Firstly, I think the CGI looks like it's from the 1990s. It looks shockingly bad. But this battle I felt bad for Hello There because it was getting shunted around all over the place. But there's nothing it could really do because Thunderchild is such a good, well-driven robot and with such good drive. It would be hard for Hello There to do anything about it throughout the battle, and they were lucky to hold on for as long as they did.
I think they were, but Hello There just they put up a valiant effort, I think, and at least they didn't get one of the spinners. At least I think they're glad they didn't get Daedalus or the Berg. I mean, they knew they would have just been eviscerated if they'd drawn the Berg.
Well, we did see later on what happens when Hello There meets the Berg, and the guy who made Sir Lancelot, Nicholas, he made a fantastic picture of the Berg yeeting Hello There.
I saw that.
We've shared it upon our team page, so go check out Raid Robotics Team on Facebook. Trademark, copyright. So go check that out for the amazing art. Go give him all the love and support. Brilliant stuff.
Do you know what? I actually like it so much. I'm going to stick it on the imagery of this podcast. So for those listeners who have just, who are listening to this on YouTube but aren't paying attention to the screen, come back to the YouTube screen right now. There is a picture of the Berg yeeting Hello There, and it's amazing. It's now disappeared from your screen, and I've gone back to the Shunt Posting logo. Thank you. Please join us next week. So anyway, moving on to Annie, Are You Okay? Versus Two Berg, Too Furious. Annie was very okay. It had a good nibble on the Berg's wheels, and it was all over a bit quick. And the Berg team left fairly promptly afterwards. And I'm led to believe, as Charlie explained in the short post-fight interview that he had, that this fight was in fact won by the Berg. And the reason everybody thought that Annie, Are You Okay? Won was due to Bugglebots blowing all the budget on hologram imagery. With that in mind, Charlie, why did you leave the arena so quickly afterwards?
Do you want my honest answer, or do you want my egotistical answer?
Both.
Both. Okay. So I couldn't deal with it. The audience kept sticking their fingers up at me. They were abusing me. You couldn't hear it on the microphones. Screaming all kinds of horrible stuff, which poor old me does not deserve to hear. So I had to leave. I couldn't handle it. But in reality, I don't know. We just left. I was just like, okay, after the interview was over, let's get out. Let's go fix the robot.
Yeah, we got a robot to fix. Let's go.
But the damage, all in all, in that battle, didn't turn out to be as bad as we thought it was. Luckily. So, why
didn't the weapon spin up? The weapon didn't really make an appearance in this fight. What happened to that?
The weapon did. It was working, but the problem was, every first hit we had, we were hitting you saw the sparks fly, we were hitting the bar, nothing else. So no matter what, I think we had about 2 hits, and both of them were on the bar. Nothing happened, obviously, because we were only skimming the bar with the countersunks and the drum. But then, as soon as it got to our wheels, it shattered all the 3D printed hubs, and it just ate up the foam. didn't stand a chance really as soon as they hit the wheels, and that was it. We were basically beached with shattered hubs.
Oh dear. Or at least that's what the hologram would have had the audience believe anyway. Exactly. So we will move on to the losers melee, which, because of that gosh darn holographery, features the Berg, hello there, and Claws too. The reaction to this fight has accounted for a rather large volume of memes on Shunt posting. The Berg comes stomping into the fight with renewed vigour, walloping hello there around the arena, even into the ceiling. Claws 2 is suffering from the Daedalus effect, and a few hits from the Berg have made it limp even more. This fight is the Berg's! By God, they're actually going to win it! And then... the fuck do you do that for?
Blame Aaron! Aaron was driving. Everything's Aaron's fault.
It's all Aaron's fault.
My minion let me down.
Dale, blame Aaron.
Blame Aaron. Blame Aaron. Yes. Aaron didn't use enough Abbey scaffolding in his build.
He clearly didn't. He's not been listening to Tornado.
No, exactly. So if we added a tornado cage on it, we wouldn't have ended up in the pit.
You think that, but Wide Boy.
Ah, okay. So we need to be even wider than Wide Boy with our Abbey scaffolding.
We see, what you didn't know about episode 3 was that the holographic imagery that came to light in episode 4 was actually active in episode 3. Wide Boy was in fact too wide to go down the pit, but using clever holographic imagery, we extended the pit just as he was hovering over it, and he went down, and nobody noticed, and it all worked out very well. My fellow producers will be wanting to see me soon after this. Oh dear. So there we go. Clause 2 goes through to the semi-finals, and we have Daedalus versus Thunderchild. I think it's fair to say that this has been one of the most hoped for and anticipated fights of the season. It has the UK's scariest spinner builder versus America's toughest wedge lord. And my God, this was a fight. Excellent driving and attacking from Nate, but Daedalus can dish out and take the hits, and it just keeps on going. And the fight was it was anybody's up until that last hit. Until Daedalus went out of the arena, it was anybody's. You couldn't have called it at all.
Yeah, I thought it was so fun to watch. I mean, it's just unfortunate for Daedalus at the end, but well done to the Berg, basically.
Yep, well done to the Berg. You defeated Daedalus again.
Champ.
Yeah.
Don't know how he does it. Superb building skills. But we'll pretend that the Berg didn't win, and that pesky holographic imagery was coming into play again. Charlie, what did you make of Daedalus versus Thunderchild?
Definitely one of the best fights of the series so far. It's so intense. You can't go wrong when you've got a big spinner and a heavy wedge go one-on-one, and you hit the spinners flying all over the place, the wedge is taking damage. Yeah, it was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Can't go wrong with an out of the arena as well, especially if there's no flippers involved.
Oh, it yeeted itself, didn't it?
Oh, brilliant. I absolutely love Daedalus because like I said earlier, it either destroys itself by taking itself out like this, or it takes out the other robot, and in this case, Daedalus came up short.
I would like to ask Cosmin which of the worst swear words went through his mind at that point, and how long was it before he remembered Bugglebots was a family show? Oh dear. I mean, but honestly, this fight was just anybody's. I could not have called it right up until the last minute when Daedalus was out. It was okay, Daedalus is out. That's the result.
This does mean the 10-way is going to be very, very interesting. There's a couple of very good robots in there.
Yes, we've got Halo is in there. We've got Wayo in there. We've got Gear Down for What in there, and now Daedalus is in there. I mean, at least Lancer Frog's in there to keep those spinners a little bit at bay. We hope.
Oh, it's going to be good. It's going to be very, very good.
Ooh, it's going to be spicy. And do you know what's going to make it even spicier? Is the result of the next fight. We had Clause 2 versus Annie, Are You Okay? Now, little something for the Shunt posters. Did you know that on the 14th of September 1828, a gang of 5 robbers tunnelled through a sewage drain into the vault of the Bank of Australia in George Street, Sydney, and stole some £14,000 in promissory notes and coins? This has gone down as the second greatest theft in Australian history, behind the Annie Are You OK Clause 2 judge's decision. I would like to point out that this is according to the internet, and I ripped that from the YouTube comments. Oh, it was a controversial decision, though, wasn't it?
You have to have at least one controversial decision each robot series. Like, it's a given. And this was the one for this series, definitely.
It really was. I mean, I can see why it was controversial, because visibly Annie Are You OK had done damage to Clause 2, and Clause 2 was limping towards the end. However, Clause 2's weapon was still working, and Annie's wasn't. And Annie's hadn't been for quite a lot of the fight. And Fliss was still utilising the active weapon to control the fight in her favour, and nearly actually got Annie in the pit at one point. So I think it's fair, but I can absolutely see why the audience at home thought this was a great Australian robbery. But there we go. Dale, did you see it as a robbery, or did you think it was a fair decision?
I'll be honest, I actually thought it was quite fair. I mean, you can see both robots are suffering from fatigue from the Berg earlier. But yeah, it just went. It could have gone either way, and it just had to go to one or the other. And Claude got it. So yeah, weirdly how the Berg didn't win that one, I must say.
Yeah, it is. And it does mean that we're adding another spinner to the Second Chance Rumble. Annie now joins Daedalus, Wahyu, the other one, Halo. Goodness me, it's going to be absolute chaos. That leaves us with our heat final for episode 4, which is Clause 2 versus Thunderchild. Wedge versus Wedge. Clause 2 was unfortunately well and truly struggling by this point. I mean, fair play to it. It had Annie, it had Daedalus, it got punted by the Berg a few times. I mean, and nobody wants to take on the Berg. And it was sadly no match for the power and driving skill of Thunderchild. I mean, it didn't go down without a little bit of fisticuffs. You know, it held on for a bit, but it was all over after Thunderchild put it into the pit. The American used the pit. Scandalous. What are we going to do? He's going to go home ashamed of himself, I think. I'm obviously alone in that thought. Everybody's gone silent. Charlie, what did you think of the heat final?
It was decent. I felt bad for Clause 2 because do they still use, is it brush drive on Clause? I can't remember. But if it's,
yes,
I think it's those ones you could buy off eBay for drive. And when you're up against Nate with such powerful drive and who's so good with such a low wedge, it's going to be really hard if you're a control bot to even control him. Yeah, I felt like honestly could only see this going one way. And yeah, it did. Yeah, unfortunately. But yeah, Clause did take a hell of a lot of damage earlier. Was completely knocked out by the Berg in its previous battle, straight up obliterated. So I'm really impressed they managed to get it back together. And then, yeah, Annie, which was also completely obliterated, and like I said, in multiple pieces in the pit. How Ben managed to fix it, I have no idea. He must have some kind of superpower.
I mean, I think we should give a congratulations to Chris Sowry, because the amount of repairs he did to Clause 2 throughout the competition.
The Daedalus repairs, yeah, they were just opposite the table to us. And I don't know how he managed to do it.
It's ridiculous. It was like Daedalus, fucked, repair it. Losers melee, fucked, repair it. Annie, are you okay? Fucked, repair it. Oh, now I get a wedge for the heat final.
So unfortunate.
Oh, do you know what? On driving skill alone, you know, if Clause 2 was on fighting form and hadn't had Daedalus, Annie, and the Berg, I couldn't have called that fight, because although, you know, Nate's wedge is scary and Nate is Nate. Nate's driving is Nate's driving, right? But Fliss's driving is no muck about either. And I would be scared facing her, no matter what I was driving. And yeah, on driving skill alone, I could not have called it. But yeah, just Clause was limping, and it just, it didn't feel like a fair start, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But there we go. That's the nature of the competition. So
Nature.
Oh,
Oh dear.
we're going to move on to the Shunt Posting Awards. Actually, there's a little bit I haven't quite prepared for that shit. Charlie, look what's over there.
Oh.
Right, while he's gone.
Hey guys.
Oh, hey Nate. Dale.
Hi, Nate.
Dale, did you know that we actually did want to have Nate on the Shuntcast, but you see, Charlie blackmailed me. He told me that as one of the Bugglebots producers who had a hand in the holographic projection system, which made it appear that he lost, he told me that it was the least I could do to have him on my podcast so that he can tell the world what absolute pelican-necked biscuits we are on the production team. But I wasn't going to be completely thwarted by Charlie's blackmail. He's distracted at the moment. So what we're going to do very quickly, we're going to ask Nate some all-American wedge questions. Woo!
All right, let's get started.
Okay, right. Dale's going to kick us off. Ready, Dale?
Yes. Here we go. First question. What's your favourite wedge?
God damn it. There's so many of them. I don't know. God damn it! You started me with the worst possible question because you said it's supposed to be rapid fire.
It doesn't have to be a bot, to be fair. It says your favorite wedge, so it could be your favorite cheese, could be your favorite doorstop.
I'll go with original sin. That's a pretty safe answer. Gary Ginn is my wedge driver idol. Hoping he's seen Bugglebots.
Oh, yes. Gary Ginn, if you're listening, please watch Bugglebots. Question 2, Shakey's Clusterbot, wedge. Which of the 3 is your favourite?
Whichever one Shakey's driving, because he's the silliest.
Question 3. Have you ever used Thunderchild as a doorstop?
No, but not yet. Now I want to do that.
Are you familiar with the Cray twins, Ronnie and Wedgie?
No.
Oh, Dale.
Yes, good idea. Yes. What's your thoughts on the new Sonic the Hedgehog movie?
I kind of liked it when it was the really, really really insane looking Wedgehog, but now I'm not going to see it.
Oh, that's a pity. What's your favourite cleaning product and why is it Lemon Pwedge?
Lemon Pwedge. Lemon Pwedge for the Pwedge guy. I'm accepting sponsorships, by the way.
How many more questions do you think we can wedge in here?
6.
Are you a fan of the Georgian comedian Reginald D. Hunter?
Yes. If the name has Wedge, it's for me.
What's your favourite sandwich filling?
Sandwich filling. What is it? Blue cheese, because that's in the wedge salad too.
Oh, bravo. What's your favourite nursery rhyme and why is it wedge, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes?
Of course, the wedge is the most important part of the body. That's how you tank all the horizontal spinner hits.
Who do you consider to be the most legendary bot builder?
Mike Jeffries.
Oh, that's so wholesome.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to try and pronounce this one. Your final question. Did you know that in mathematics, Bugglebots' edge of the wedge theorem implies that holomorphic functions on 2 wedges with an edge in common are analytic continuations of each other, provided they both give the same continuous function on the edge? What are your thoughts on this?
I love it, and I'm going to put it on my bot. Put it on the wedge. Just fill out the entire form, write out the entire theorem on the wedge.
Edges? Oh my goodness. Nate's next wedge is going to be called Edge of the Wedge Theorem. There we go. And we couldn't leave you without a little quick game of beat, defeat, wedges. Okay. So your robot that you're driving, we're gonna bring it back to Robot Wars with this one. You get Eruption, but with no flipper, so it's just a wedge.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. I was like, wait a sec, but then yeah, that makes sense.
But you're up against Apollo, TR2, and Dan Tom Kia. So one of them you beat, one of them defeats you, and one of them you wedge that motherfucker into orbit.
I think beat Dan Tom Kia, because I think the awkward shape I could, because it has like the two, whatever you call them, the like, you know what I'm talking about.
The pointy bits.
I think I could get under or beat them, lose to TR2 because that's a really good bot, and what's his name? Alex
Brown.
Thanks, I completely forgot. Is an insanely good driver, and then I would wedge the fuck out of Apollo.
I did it just to hear Nate say that I would wedge the fuck out of Apollo. Oh no! Quick! Everybody, Charlie's coming back. Nate, hi.
Oh crap!
Love you.
All right. See you guys.
Bye.
My Nobel Peace Prize wasn't even over there. What? Where is it? What have you done with it?
Oh, I'm sorry. It was supposed to be there. Ugh.
No. I've had that lost for about 6 months now. I really missed it. What? You've got to tell me.
I'm sorry. I know what will cheer you up, though. We'll move on to the Shunt Posting Awards. How does that sound? I'm ready now.
That'll do. Whatever. Yeah, go on.
Excellent. Right. Well, first up, as usual, it is the John Reed Good Hit of the Night Award. First up, we have Daedalus Eviscerating Claws 2. Annie, are you fed up of the Berg's wheels? And the Berg yeets hello there. So, Charlie, I'll come to you first, seeing as you're our guest. Voting for yourself is permitted. Who would you like to vote for?
I've got to vote for the artwork of the eating of hello there. It is just so cool.
It was such a good hit, it's become art. Now, that's a fairly good argument, to be fair. Dale, what do you think? Who do you want to vote for?
I've got to go with Daedalus. It's a spinner, it's meant to hit, and it's a good hit. So I've got to say it, Daedalus.
Ooh, I'm torn. And do you know what? On the premise that Charlie blackmailed me and forced me to have him on my podcast, I'm going to go for Daedalus. So congratulations, Daedalus! Woo!
Oh my, what? This is a fix, okay? Just because I hacked into your podcast doesn't mean you don't get to give me an award. I deserve that award. Do you not see Hello There Hit the Ceiling? Are you joking?
Well, you may come up in another award, Charlie.
No, I need every single award. This is an outrage.
Well, you're not getting them. On to the Salt-Powered Robot Award. We have Annie, are you eliminated? The producers would like to see Cosmin, that's a Mr. Cosmin Gorgovan to Bugglebots Room 3, and the Great Hologram Incident. Dale, who would you like to go for?
I think it's pretty obvious, all the holograms. I mean, I was in the audience and I could see all the holograms being edited in live, and it's ridiculous. The Berg won every fight and no one sees it. It's ridiculous.
Oh dear. There we go.
Damien's Salt Award is very insulting. I was not salty, I was merely betraying the truth.
In the form of angry.
in the form of civilized speaking, I have you know. Maybe the audio was edited in post as well to make me sound more angry when I was talking about the holograms.
I saw you fainting. I saw you fainting when Tim hugged you. Tim was being really nice to you. He was giving you a sympathy cuddle after your fight, and you fainted. What was all that about?
Cuddle! You choked me out! A cuddle!
Oh dear. So you're not going to vote for the Great Hologram Incident as the Salt-Powered Robot Award winner? Who are you going to vote for then?
Annie, because he was extremely, extremely salty after I demolished his robot in the first battle. Extremely.
Well, this particular award is for is for the clause 2 decision. But the Berg won that fight, so okay, fair enough.
No. Even the clause 2 decision, like I don't think that even happened.
Okay.
No.
Is this more holographic dumb fuckery here?
It's not just holograms at this point. It's an alien conspiracy.
Oh dear.
I'll tell you all about it one day, but today isn't that day.
Thank goodness. So who would you like to vote for?
I vote for myself. Go on. Not salty. Rename it to the truth. But yeah.
Okay, well, congratulations to the great hologram incident. I'll make it unanimous and go for that one too. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You win
Thank
the
you
Salt
for giving me
Powered Robot Award.
No, Truth Award.
Oh, sorry, the Truth Award.
Thank you.
The Salt Powered Truth Award. So on to the Shunty McShuntpost Award for the most memeable thing in the episode. We have the crowd reaction to the Berg driving down the pit, the restraining burger, and Bob's MJ puns. Charlie, who are you going to go for?
It's difficult. It's a very difficult decision. You've got the crowd reaction, which was absolutely lovely. I've watched that multiple times. It's amazing. Gus's reaction is a picture. Have you seen Gus's?
I have, but the one that gets me is the long-haired guy down the front.
Yes.
Oh my goodness me! He's just his eyes are like they're out on stalks.
It's the shocked Pikachu face, like but turned up to 100.
No. That's Pikachu got something in its behind that it wasn't expecting, kind of shocked. Oh my goodness! I mean. That tells me that you're swayed towards the crowd reaction for the Berg, Charlie.
Yeah, I mean, the restraining order is something, an official document. It's from the government. It shouldn't be memed. It shouldn't be taken the mick out of. It's very serious business. However, the crowd reaction was amazing. Really made me happy. Made me laugh. So yeah, I'll go for the crowd reaction.
Okay. Dale, what about you?
Yeah, I can't argue with that. I mean, it was amusing.
And so many memes.
Yes.
I mean, I can't argue with that either. There's been an extraordinary volume of memes based on that one screenshot alone. So congratulations to the crowd reaction of the Berg. Woo!
Thank you. This is better than one of the Olympic Games. Wow. Feel blessed today.
Is it better than the Nobel Peace Prize?
Ooh, it's up there. It's really up there. Definitely.
Fair enough. Well, Charlie, if I could briefly distract you from your gloating, we have the all-important member questions section where our group members would like to know really, really important things from you. Are you ready, Charlie?
I guess, yeah.
Okay, Dale is going to kick us off.
I am indeed. Here we go. What's the next step on the Berg's list towards world domination?
Next step for world domination. First of all, we take over the means of production. And then we take over the crown, which is actually happening next week. So keep an eye on BBC News next week. You're in for a shock. Then after that, we're thinking of maybe making a giant replica Berg in the place of where the Great Pyramid of Giza is. So we're going to take that whole thing down. Horrible, eyesore, disgusting. Throw a giant golden Berg there. That'll be a tourist attraction for years. It'll bring people from around the universe to the Earth. Change the faces on what's that American thing with all the presidents on?
Mount Rushmore.
All irrelevant people. Mount Rushmore, yeah, that irrelevant place. We're going to change it to Mount Bergmore. And we're going to throw on Berg 1, 2 Berg Too Furious, me and Aaron. Okay, that's what's happening with that. And it's going to be a little like Tracy Islands. The whole front will open up and there's going to be a giant like void in there to suck the non-believers into.
Could I just make one small objection to it? I do like my crown, so if you could just leave that one thing alone.
No, mine. Every crown is mine.
But I have the meme crown, and where would you be without the memes? It's diplomacy, Charlie. Accept it. It's diplomacy.
In retrospect, I apologise. You can keep your crown. Yeah, keep it. That's
Lovely.
right. As long
And
as
on
you
that note-
understand me serving under me.
I regard you as someone I've met. So, question 2. I heard that 2 Berg 2 Furious was too heavy in tech check. How overweight was it, and what did you have to remove?
It was definitely too heavy. It was about 150 grams overweight. So we kept drilling holes in different places to try and work out how to like loosen up some weight. It wasn't working. We couldn't actually work out what to do. In fact, we had a spare receiver which was massive, chunky. It was a bit of a brick of one, and that wouldn't even fit in the robot. So yeah, it was just a question of drilling holes, as many holes as we could possibly make. Eventually, we made it. I think we were only just in the weight limit. Yeah, speed holes. That's the one. And yeah, so it's just drilling really.
So there we go. If your robot is overweight, drill it.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with drilling some holes. Drill some into your drive motors as well. That always ends up.
Oh dear. Anyway, next question. What is Jaeger?
I don't feel like I'm at liberty to say. I'd love to. I'd absolutely love to. However, our team are being very, very strict on what we can say and what we can't say. I wish I could. I think we will be releasing information. I hope so. I hope we can all get on board with that. But yeah, I'd love to share it with you. But it's something interesting and it's something different. And we hope it's good.
Well, there you go, Shuntcast listeners. He cannot reveal it yet, but keep your eye out.
Keep an eye out on the Jaeger Combat Robot Facebook page, and we should be releasing some information in the coming months.
And it's nothing to do with Abbey Scaffolding.
Oh, Abbey Scaffolding. They didn't keep up the birds together. They won't be able to keep Jaeger together.
So there we go. Charlie, what sports have you gotten Olympic gold medals in, and which ones do you hope to win in 2020?
Well, in 2020, I plan on winning them all, but so far I've only won Olympic gold in one event.
Oh.
And that event is tripping over. Now, tripping over, it's not a well-known event. It's only at the Winter Olympic Games, but you have to go on the red button to actually watch it. It's quite a small one, but yeah, I dominate that.
Okay. What's your most notable achievement in this particular field?
In the field of tripping over, my most notable achievement is beating Tiger Woods.
Well
in
done.
The final.
Well
I
done.
know, and Tim was in the audience, and he came over. He asked for an autograph. He kissed me on the cheek. I had to throw him out of the building.
Oh dear.
I only ever heard of the triple jump, not the tripping over. Might have to look into that one. Anyway, next question.
Famous.
What's the next evolution of the Berg?
Now, this is difficult because me and Aaron are actually working that out. There's a part of us that wants to kind of enter our own individual robots, and at the same time, there's like we can't split up the Berg. I think we're going to stick with the drum spinner. This time, make sure it doesn't stop working because basically some of the 3D printed parts inside shattered. That's what happens to wheel hubs. So yeah, we gotta make it stronger. Probably make them out of SLS this time. And yeah, it'll be a more powerful drum. We'll tone down the drive because a massive issue with the drive and this whole spinning on the spot that Aaron did that caused him to drive in the pit was the tuning of the actual drive itself. So it was very hard to drive. It was like driving on ice half the time, or when you go in a straight line, bang, full pelt into the wall nearly. So I think it will be a more tame drive, more powerful drive. Wedgelets, we've learned, are a must. Going into battles without wedgelets when you've got a drum is quite difficult. Although we can yeet, we can't get under. So yeah, that I think for the next evolution of the Berg, you're looking at a much prettier machine, a more powerful machine, an easier to drive machine, just better in every way, really.
A machine that might legitimately win.
It will win. It will win again, like it has done the last 2 seasons.
Okay, so your next question is: have you considered hiring a bodyguard to protect you from Tim's attacks? I'm available, but I'm not cheap.
Oh, thing is, Tim knows he can't stand a chance against me when we're one-on-one, face-to-face, when I'm ready for it, when I've had the preparation, when I've had my training from my dojo master, when I've had my meditation, when I've had my yoga. He wouldn't stand a chance, okay? Simple as that. You saw in the last episode of Bugglebots, when he choked me out, he took me from behind. Very hard indeed. So...
We did indeed see him take you from behind. Dale is not sniggering in the background.
Very good at taking me from behind, I tell you that much. So I might, you never know. I will take him from behind next series. You won't see that coming for 1 second.
But he won't if it's from behind.
Might even be while he's asleep. You never know.
Anyway, next question.
I'm fine.
No, serious time now. What was the device that Tim used to sabotage the Berg before the losers melee?
It was your classic nuclear bomb. There's a fair few Roboteers who carry on nuclear bombs, and Tim so happens to be one of them. So, Roboteers, aspiring Roboteers, be careful when you're in the pits, because, in particular, I can name Tim, Rackers, I can name Tom from Monsoon. He's one that carries nuclear bombs all the time.
Nuclear Toms.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so just keep an eye out.
Oh, hang on. I've got to get Agent Rara for this one. Agent Rara! What? Come here. Could you read this question, please? Okay. If big spin and Berg spin collide, is the big or the Berg stronger? Need answer for science reasons. Thank you, Agent Rara. You're welcome, moron. Goodbye. So there you go. Would you like that read out in Shuntcasting language instead?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah, I like to be spoken to in the official.
So, if big spin and Berg spin collide, is the big or the Berg stronger? The answer is required for science reasons.
That question's giving me a mental breakdown.
I think that Agent Rara is referring to Daedalus with the big spin.
Oh, okay. So if Daedalus and Berg went 1-on-1 head-to-head, what would happen?
Weapon to weapon. Who's stronger?
There's only, the Berg, obviously. I mean, think about it. Eyes closed. Let's think about this.
Okay, my eyes are closed.
Okay. So you've got Daedalus one side of the Bugglebots arena. You've got 2 Berg the other side of the arena. You spin up their weapons, both full pelt. Bam, 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 you hear it. Then they collide. They go bang. Daedalus flies out of the arena itself, through the glass, bang, and then around the world, literally, flies into the atmosphere, all the way around the earth, lands back into the arena just for one more hit, slam, dunk, done. Bye-bye, Cosmin. Bye-bye, Daedalus. Berg is the winner.
This is the oddest member question section we have ever had on the Shuntcast.
Also, that makes far too much sense.
It does. He clearly thought about this.
Yes.
Oh dear. Give him the next one, Dale.
Oh dear. Right, here we go. Why didn't the Berg's weapon work properly against Annie?
It was so some of the hits we took straight away. It was just the wheels really getting taken out and not being able to get a bite on Annie because we were hitting weapon to weapon, and as we've got no wedgelets, even the wedgelets would have been taken off to be fair. But it was the angle of where our countersunk was hitting their bar. Just couldn't do anything. And with how hard it is to drive the Berg, Well, it was at the time. It's since been improved, which is nice. But yeah, it was just hard. It was really hard battle to drive. Couldn't get around back. It's just a mess. But yeah. Hopefully a rematch in the next series of Bugglebots.
What we've learned from this episode is that more wedge was needed.
Definitely. No, wait, no wedge. Maximum weapon speed as high as possible.
Oh, okay.
Even when it's to your own detriment. Do it.
Oh, okay. So no wedgelets.
Well, we want them, but not a permanent fixture. Because against Hello There, wedgelets might have just spoiled it a bit, made it a bit more boring. It might not got yeeted as high as it did. You never know.
Okay, I tell you, we're going to move on to the final question, which is, as usual, a little game of beat, defeat, judges. So you have your robot, the Berg, and you go up against 3 robots. One of them beats you, one of them you defeat, and one of them it goes to the judges. Your 3 robots are Lame Heart, Maximum Overdrive, and Concussion.
Concussion beat. I can just say that straight up. Concussion.
Dale, you owe me a $5.
Fair enough.
So it's a bit like. So it's a bit like. Am I allowed to say shag?
You're allowed to say whatever the fuck you want on the show,
okay.
babe.
Is it a bit like? Is it a bit like fuck, marry, avoid kind of thing?
Yes, it is. It's not very avoid, but in robots.
Okay, so yeah, I destroy absolutely from behind, concussion, throw my countersunks right up into his back passage. Amazing.
Okay, so that's the defeat. He's defeated concussion. Who beats you?
Who beats? So wait, what are the choices again?
Your remaining choices are Lame Heart and Maximum Overdrive.
Lame Heart would beat me because I've got a lot of respect for him, Owen, for portraying me.
Ah, yes, he impostered you in the series.
Did a very good job, if I do say so myself. In fact,
I was totally fooled.
Body double. Yeah, body double. That's his future job. Call me, baby.
Owen's future is a doppelganger. You heard it first here on the Shuntcast. Did everybody have to go and look up that word? I'm sorry. That was a awkward silence.
No.
Oh, goodness. So that leaves you with the judges for Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah. I nearly said something then. Overdrive would definitely be a judge's decision, I think. In terms of like a realistic battle, it'd be very close, but as soon as that saw would get on top of us, it'd slice straight through the HDP. But as long as the bird keeps getting frontal hits, I think it'd be a pretty good decision, especially if the drive was tamed. So yeah, definitely judge's decision with Overdrive. I'd love that fight 1-on-1 actually.
Fair enough. Well, Charlie, I'm afraid that is the end of the member question section, and I'm afraid, ladies and gentlebots, it's the end of the Shuntcast. Sad times. Although, before we go, Charlie, I do have a small confession to make. While you were away earlier looking for your Nobel Peace Prize, one of those cheeky Americans snuck on the show. So Nate was here, and he wanted to tell you Wedge. So to finish off the Shuntcast, would you like to give a message to Nate, who snuck onto the Shuntcast in your Nobel Prize seeking absence?
Drum.
Drum?
Drum.
As in drum spinner?
Then face my drum, Nate, and you won't have a robot left, little boy. Your Yankee Danky Doodle stuff can just go away.
Oh, Yankee Doodle Thunderchild. That's a name.
Yeah, Yankee Danky Doodle Thunderchild. Fuck off. The Berg is king.
I love how we've just literally recently told him he could swear and now he's making up for it.
If I knew that from the beginning, I would have been saying fucking shit constantly, okay? Good to tame me.
This isn't the first time this has happened. Like, it happened with Sam, but it was worse with Sam because I told him after we finished recording and he was like, oh, for fuck's sake, I was restrained as well.
I know. You've hung out with me for 2 weeks in America. You know what it's. You know how much I swear.
Oh my goodness me. Would you like me, Charlie, to tell our listeners about the story of you and the energy drinks?
Oh,
I think
go
they'd
on.
like to know.
Oh, go on, then.
Okay, so listeners, so Charlie purchased these things in America called 5-hour energy drinks. Now, if you think energy drinks are a little bit mental in the United Kingdom, they are a whole different kettle of fish in the USA. And Charlie's mood after consuming one of these drinks, or was it two? You had 2 of them, I believe.
I had 2 5-hour energies to make myself have 10 hours, in theory.
So in theory, Charlie was hoping to achieve 10 hours of energy to get him through BattleBots. And his mood went through 3 stages. First, he got the hit, where he did get the energy. And he was buzzing. He was fixing Nelly. And he was, anything I can do, guys, anything I could do. He was on form as a team member for Team Punch and Nelly the Ellybot. And then he sort of slowed down a bit. And his eyes would just wander over around the pits a bit, and you'd sort of, when you called him, you had to call him twice. You know, it was Charlie, Charlie. Oh, yeah. So there was like the in between stage where he was a little bit zoned out, but still had the physical energy coursing through his veins, and then came the crash, which was where you could literally have a full-on conversation with Charlie whilst he was looking into your eyes, and he did not remember the conversation 2 minutes later. Literally staring at Charlie in the face. Like,
I was speaking to Ray Billings at one point, and I was speaking to Ray Billings, and he was just like, oh, I was like, hi, how you doing? And then he started speaking to me, and it was just kind of going one ear and out of the other. And I didn't want to. I wanted to listen to what he said because he's so cool. But it was like just blank. There was nothing going on inside my head.
It was a lovely moment for me. I decided I was going to go over to the bit where they have hot drinks, and I said to you, Charlie, do you want a tea or a coffee? And you looked up at me and went, yeah.
Why not both?
And I was just like, which one? Yeah, whatever. It was just, and then there was this lovely moment where Nicholas Nave took pity on him and came and cuddled him and said, there, Charlie, be gone by the morning.
Oh.
And we tucked Charlie up in bed. We did ask Nick if he would take Charlie to bed, but you know, Nick had to babysit Brian. You can't leave Brian unsupervised.
No, you can't.
So it was down to Shane and Niels to make sure that Charlie didn't die of energy drink overdose that night.
If we get into BattleBots next year,
did you accidentally not acknowledge William Osman as well?
Yes. Yeah.
Because he came and said hello to you, and you in your state did not even recognise him and just went, all right. And then
I completely blanked him. I pretty much just stared him in the eyes and just looked down. I completely disrespected him.
Oh.
Just stared into his soul.
Honestly, I mean, he must hate most of Team Punchant because Gus didn't acknowledge him as well. He was like, it was just after the Rainbow fight, and he was in that post-fight adrenaline state, and literally managed to do it all right, and then just walked off. I didn't recognise him at all. I was jet lagged when he said hello to me, and I just didn't recognise him at all. He came over to me and said hello, and I just said hello back to be polite, because you know I'm not a cunt, not going to be rude. And then there was sort of this awkward stare, and then I guess he must have thought, oh, she doesn't recognise me, and walked off. Yeah, we're British. We're sorry. But on that note, we are waffling, and we're going to have to say goodbye to the Shuntcast listeners. We're so sorry. So it's goodbye from Dale.
Bye-bye.
It's goodbye from multiple Olympic gold medalist, Nobel Peace Prize winner, 10 Bugglebots series winner, BattleBots winner, Robots winner, and King of Bots, and KFC Death Camp winner, Charlie Dangerfield.
make sure you all buy your tickets to Mount Bergmore very soon.
Thank you, Charlie. And it's goodbye from the Queen. Goodbye!
Wedge!